More than 60 women have accused Bill Cosby of drugging and sexually assaulting them. Attorney Gloria Allred represents 33 of the accusers. And after a jury convicted the comedian yesterday, Allred said a court of law finally believed women.
Bill Cosby, 3 words for you. Guilty, guilty, guilty! Thank you.
3 of Allred's clients testified at Cosby's retrial. Gloria Allred joins us at the table. Good to see you, Mrs. Allred.
You too. Good morning, Gail.
So I heard you say, briefly paraphrasing, you said this is one of the happiest days in your career.
Yes.
Were you surprised by the verdict?
I was very surprised and shocked by the verdict.
Why?
Well, because, first of all, the first criminal trial, the jury deadlocked. Secondly, it's a very high burden of proof. Guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And in the case of a celebrity who's on trial, such as Mr. Cosby, sometimes jurors feel they need even more proof than beyond a reasonable doubt. Sometimes they feel they need it right up here to a virtual certainty, which is not the law.
What made it different this time?
I think what was different was, in fact, the court allowed 5 prior bad act witnesses to testify. In the first trial, even though the prosecution asked the court to allow it to put on 13 other accusers, prior bad act witnesses, court only allowed 1. The defense, of course, wanted no prior bad act witnesses. This time, the same judge decided, okay, this time 5 other accusers can testify. They were very strong. There was very vigorous cross-examination. Frankly, it was a smear campaign waged against all of the accusers, trying to discredit them. Trying to challenge them. Gloria, but they held their own. I was very, very proud of them.
Gloria, another thing that's different a year later is the Me Too movement that's sweeping across this country. How much of an impact did that have?
Well, I do think, Nora, that it had some impact in the sense that women are now being believed in greater numbers. But, of course, even though more than 500,000, maybe it's up to 1 million now, have gone on #MeToo on the Internet and told what they say is the truth about their lives, the abuse that they've suffered, the rape, the sexual assault, the child sexual abuse. Still, on the Internet, of course, there are no rules. There are no standards. And really, there is no due process for anybody. But now in a court of law, there's strict rules. People are under oath. They have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help them God.
You made one last point in your press conference yesterday, and you said, how many women does it take for one woman to be believed?
Over the denial of a rich, powerful, famous man. And in this case, it took 6. The 5 other accusers, plus the very brave Andrea Constant. And I want to also give credit to my 33 accusers of Mr. Cosby, who came forward in the court of public opinion at first. They were not believed. But as more and more women came forward, the public began to say, wait, there's something going on here.
And, of course, Mr. Cosby's lawyer says the fight's not over. He's going to appeal. What do you think about that?
Well, John, of course he's going to appeal because Mr. Cosby could be facing 10 years, maybe even more, of imprisonment. But just because you're going to appeal doesn't mean you're going to be successful on appeal. I think this judge was very fair to both sides. He let the defense put in, for example, Marguerite Jackson. The prosecution vigorously objected to that key defense witness who obviously was not believed. And so I think he doesn't have a good chance on appeal, is my view.
Do you think Bill Cosby should go to jail?
I do think that he should serve time in custody for this. I mean, I
heard he was facing he could possibly be facing up to 30 years.
Well, that's true, because 10 years on each count, convicted on 3 counts.
How much time do you think he should spend?
Well, you know, I'll leave that up to the court. But there is going to be a sexually violent predator assessment, and we'll see. But I do think that he should spend time in custody. He has hurt. He has damaged. He has changed the lives of so many of his victims. I know he's only on trial for 1, but still, I think he needs to pay a price.
But the price he needs to pay has to do with his case, but also what kind of message does that send to other women who might want to come forward about taking on powerful men?
Well, I think it sends a great message. And a powerful man is not just a celebrity. It could be somebody in the sports world, the religious world, the business world, the educational world, in your own family. Someone who has taken advantage of his position of power and betrayed the trust that the person who is vulnerable and less powerful has had in that person. So, yes, times they are changing, and I'm just very, very happy about the empowerment of women and the victory in this case.
Gloria Allred, thank you.
Thank you, Gail.
Former NBC News